The best games stick with us long after we play them. Some games get their wriggling fingers in our brains and just don't let go. And the best ones can open our eyes. Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, 10 atmospheric games that might change your life. At number 10, it's Hellblade 1 and 2. The Hellblade series throws your character in the psychological deep end. This harrowing set of games depicts mental illness in a visceral way. The actress at the center gives an all-timer performance, too. The technology that captures the performance, probably the best in the industry. It's a story that takes Norse mythology and twists it into unrecognizable and horrific shapes.
Follow the path to Valravan and defeat him in battle to earn his mark. The gate to Helheim cannot be opened without it.
Well-known concepts are taken and turned into haunting images we've never seen before. They're creepy games, is what I'm getting at. Some of the most atmospheric ever made, all anchored to the themes of psychosis. Mental health isn't something video games try to tackle, generally. More often you're fighting gibbering madmen stereotypes as enemies, but Hellblade puts you right in the head of someone framed from the inside out. As Senua, you'll watch every struggle through her psychological journey through hell. The developers worked with neuroscientists and other experts to represent psychosis in a way that is impactful and respectful. It's that dedication that I feel like probably it feels pretty authentic. There's incredible highs and incredible lows.
The darkness is inside you and it will destroy you.
You're a liar!
No, Senua. The darkness is here.
And if these games tell us anything, it's that even the most misunderstood among us can triumph. Even internal challenges we have no control over, like psychosis, can be beaten. These are some of the darkest games we've ever played, but they always leave us feeling with, hope, I want to say. At number 9 is Planescape Torment. There really isn't any other game like this. It's meant to be a Dungeons & Dragons CRPG like Baldur's Gate or Neverwinter Nights. It ends up being a story, though, about perception and how that shapes society and ourselves. Planescape Torment is a trick of a game. It pulls us in with competent RPG mechanics and then gets us to read a novel's length of text about different philosophies. We're asked a simple question: what can change the nature of a man? And you have to answer it yourself. You have to fight for your answer by the end of the game, too. The graphics are good in Planescape Torment. The real atmosphere, however, comes from the quality of the prose. Writer Chris Avellone is credited with the story here, and if you've heard the name before, you probably recognize the great writing in Fallout New Vegas. Planescape Torment is funny and harsh, hopeful and cynical, beautiful and ugly at the same time. You'll learn about your character's past, discovering that they've been a horrible monster and a saint in past lives, and every incarnation is living with no memory of their actions in the present. The question becomes, are you the culmination of your actions in a world where good and evil, order and chaos literally shape the physical locations you're in? Philosophy becomes deadly important. And Planescape Torment is a game that doesn't tell you what to believe. It asks you what you believe and tests you on your answers. At number 8 is The Long Dark. Basically, you drop into a frozen hellscape after a geomagnetic disaster. You got a wrecked plane, you're alone, and it's very cold and very quiet. That's The Long Dark. There's no zombies, no alien warlords, just winter. This one's not really a blockbuster thrill ride. It's a survival simulator that really forces you to confront the small, quiet horrors of being very, very profoundly alone. It's a game that basically makes you make all these decisions about oh, hey, maybe I should build a fire now so I don't freeze in here later. And making it another night sort of leads to a reflective state, how did I do this? Why do I care about this? It's really a good man versus nature predicament, and it plays out thoughtfully, and it's just very well done. It's one of those ones where it's not shocking if it does change your perspective a bit.
I could use this.
At number 7 is Darkwood, the scariest game on this list. Instead of focusing on the itchy nervousness of traveling alone, Darkwood is all about the paranoia of existing alone. When you're stuck in your home, you hear a strange noise coming from outside, and that's the essence in Darkwood. In this top-down survival game, you'd have to barricade yourself inside at night, prepare for the worst. Sometimes you get strange noises or flickering lights. Other times monsters will bash through your doors and eviscerate you. It's all random and it never stops. The only way to progress is to leave the relative safety of your home. Exploring the world can be pretty scary, though, but you'll eventually find ways to defend yourself. Scrounging guns let you face off against the things that go bump in the night. It's a game that gives you a lot of leeway to explore at your own pace and overcome your fears. The darkness and obscurity of the graphics make your imagination your own worst enemy, and the more you encounter the creatures of Darkwood, the more you'll realize they can be defeated. By the end, you'll burn the entire personification of the forest in an insane blaze of glory, and it's all worth it. It's a game that makes you push against your own boundaries and get out of your comfort zone. At least that's how it felt for us. Maybe you couldn't get past all the super gross body horror. That's completely understandable. I don't really actually like it myself. At number 6 is Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. So, the Chernobyl exclusion zone is both nothing like this and very much like this. A lot of the things about it are very accurate, and then there's Red Lightning. It's a psychic emission, but it's actually probably the world design that is a little bit scarier. It's decaying Soviet concrete architecture, sort of a twisted and hostile world. I mean, there's also mutants and enemies and stuff. That's also not really what stays with you. I think it's just eerie. I feel like that's more what stays with me from really any of the Stalker games. But they particularly nailed it with Stalker 2. They really did a good job making the exclusion zone into this, like, just dreadful place. And although you're really capable in terms of, like, shooting and some of the crazy stuff you can do in the game, this game has the ability to sort of make you think about uncertainty because, I mean, that was at one point in time, like, the hope for the Soviet Union. Nuclear energy, man. And nuclear energy is awesome. It is basically the future of the world. It's basically the ability to make energy out of nearly nothing. But they really botched it in Chernobyl. Ooh, they botched it. This game, I think, illustrates that botching in a way that I don't think that a lot of the world ever would have seen, ever, if these games didn't exist. Also, there's mutants in Red Lightning. At number 5, it's Bloodborne. This is one of those dark and creepy games. It's just like existentially damaging. You're a hunter, people are turning into beasts, you're fighting them, you're hunting them, blah, blah, blah. If that was all it was, I mean, it'd still be good, but it's way more than that. Everything is more about what is lurking beyond what is at least currently visible. This is one of those games where there's just been countless analysis of what's going on in it, despite From Software's fairly minimalistic storytelling, and it's all fascinating. It's one of those games that makes you ponder the realities of existence. And I know that's maybe being vague. And again, the storytelling is From Software's trademark minimalistic storytelling, but there's so much going on here. I don't think it would be possible to do it justice in a minute or 2 point, which I think is also a huge testament to how From does things. There are absolutely game developers that tell this kind of story with this kind of method and just get nowhere near what Bloodborne is in terms of impact, cultural or otherwise. They just do so much that makes you ask questions, and I just think that's so cool.
Oh, amygdala. Oh, amygdala. Have mercy on the poor bastard.
At number 4 is Inside, one of the most atmospheric games of all time. Inside left an itch on our gray matter we just can't scratch. Like Shadow of the Colossus, it's a game that keeps you at arm's length, even with less explanation than Colossus. Inside's a game about a small boy traveling to the right, passing through strange cities of marching people, vast underground facilities, and finally the offices of a strange laboratory. Never clear what's going on or why you're doing this. Most of the theories we've read online also pretty unconvincing. There's probably a reason for that, though, because the game, it's really just about bad vibes. From moment one, you're sprinting away from dogs and armed gunmen. We're getting into huge spoilers, but we basically have to if we're talking about inside. Late in the game, you're transformed into a hulking mash of flesh and limbs, barreling through the labs like the unstoppable monster you are. By the end, you've escaped, and your big blob boy rolls to a stop on a serene hill. Oddly cathartic for the ending of a game that's so dour, a big explosive punchline that makes us gasp. There's something oddly hopeful about the ending of Inside, though, and it has changed some of us. We don't know how things are about to change, and sometimes the weirdest changes are for the better. And number 3, What Remains of Edith Finch, the first true walking simulator on this list. A little more engaging than a lot of infamous examples of the genre, and it's all because of that big house. What Remains of Edith Finch is about exploring a family's life through the house they lived in, and this house is anything but boring. You'll slowly unlock more levels of the house, which have been steadily upgraded and enhanced with ramshackle new rooms and entire floors towering above the forest, and each family member has a different story to tell. It's a totally new genre of story also. Sometimes you'll experience a comic book, a fairy tale, a bird flying through the sky. I know all about that. They're sad, they're funny, or they're even thoughtful. Actually, all of them are kind of thoughtful in some way. But What Remains of Edith Finch is like looking through your grandma's house. It reminds us of the impact a person can have on the world, both physically and emotionally. There's always a memory to hold on to. It's a kind of, for lack of a better word, cute game that's stuck with us since we played it. It's oddly the kind of game you only need to experience once. There's too much here that you just won't forget.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Alvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
And number 2, it's SOMA. SOMA is a scary game, but I don't know if the scary really ultimately is why. Like, yeah, it's atmospheric. And yeah, we put some other scary games on this list, but SOMA is just this unforgettable story that changed the way so many players view themselves. The word soma literally means the body, the physical body that's separate from the soul, and that makes sense because you'll never feel closer to your smelly flesh suit than you will playing Soma. In this game, after taking part in an experiment to flash a copy of your mind onto a hard drive, you wake up in the far future occupying the body of a robot. All life on Earth is dead, except for a few blips on your station, and the last remaining scientists want to preserve human culture by launching the last remaining minds into space. As you explore the station, you'll encounter robots with human minds, and they experience the world exactly like they did before, unable to believe there's anything strange about their new body.
What are you?
Are you blind? It's me. Carl Semke. Wrangler? Any of this sound familiar to you?
No, actually.
Well, thanks for being so helpful. It's not like I'm knocked out on the floor or anything.
The biggest question, though, comes later in the game. To progress, you have to copy your brain again, And that's where the question of continuity comes up. We experience the continuity of perception every day when we go to bed and wake up, still ourselves. But what happens when your consciousness is copied? Who are we when we close our eyes and open them again? Are we the copy or are we the original? You're forced to experience this over and over in SOMA, as crew members deliberately end their own lives as they've copied in hopes they'll retain continuity. It's a philosophical topic, and we've never seen it so viscerally examined in video games or really a lot of media at all. And when you're copied into a new body and watching your old self curse you out, you might start to think about heady subjects as well. And finally, at number 1, it's Silent Hill 2. It's a game that changed a lot of us. One of the most influential video games of all time. Didn't just change the industry, it broke our hearts and made us realize video games could tell deeper, darker stories. Silent Hill 2 recently got a loving remake that expands on the original in good ways, keeps a few deep-cut theories as Easter eggs, and I mean, it's great, but the remake's strengths are really in the atmosphere. The foggy town is fully rendered in modern graphics, giving us these larger locations to explore with extreme detail. The story of a regretful man searching for his supposedly living wife in a surreal town of monsters is fully intact. If any game is deserving of a lavish remake, it's Silent Hill 2, and wow, did they nail it.
Come on, hurry!
I love Silent Hill 2 Remake. I don't have a straightforward relationship with horror. Silent Hill 2 and a number of other horror games that have really intense and interesting stories kind of go against type for me. It's impossible for me not to appreciate horror, and I enjoy Silent Hill and Silent Hill 2, and really a lot of things that are similar, like Jacob's Ladder or surrealist film like the stuff from David Lynch. And that's all kind of present in Silent Hill 2. The story is a heartfelt plea for empathy, self-reflection, and humanity in the worst of circumstances. If James can forgive himself, maybe we can all forgive ourselves for past mistakes. It's a cheesy message to end the video on, but games can have an effect on us. And with that, we want to hear what games changed you. Even the simplest games can have a huge impact on our lives. These are games we've been thinking about for a long time. What do you think? Leave us a comment, let us know. If you like this video, click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week. Best way to see them first is, of course, a subscription, so click subscribe. Don't forget to enable notifications, and as always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter and book me on Cameo at Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time right here on Gameranx.